Welcome back to This Mindful Life. So the other day I was driving and I was listening to podcasts by Jay Shetty. Some of you may be familiar with him. And he was talking about his word for the year. And I got to thinking a little bit about this. I don't often do these kinds of things at the beginning of each year. But as he was talking about bringing intentionality to moving forward in the year and how the years kind of have cycles, I thought, I think my word for the year is healing. 2023 was really a year of transformation, from my kid going off to college, for me going through menopause and dealing with an empty nest. It was a lot, and I kind of knew it at the time. But as the year ended and I'm moving now, we're into almost mid-January, which is crazy. I've been thinking a lot about that, how I'm really feeling this sort of an ending of that transformation, at least the bulk of it coming to an end. I know it will still continue in some small way. But how can I really begin to embrace the healing? And what healing exactly do I need? I've been thinking a lot about that. And I know a lot of us who are sort of moving into 2024 with the intention of embracing ourselves and being more accepting and bringing self-love to our experience. I'd love to hear from you. What does it mean for you? Have you had phases in your life, cycles in your life where you're going through a healing phase? And what does that look like for you? What did it look like for you? As I begin to try to understand more how that looks for me, what I'm seeing already in the first couple weeks of January is a need to rest, right? Really rest, and not just relax, but really rest. Like, I've found myself the last couple weeks just being really just bone tired, a kind of tired that is tied into the emotions of the body, and just needing to sleep, needing to lay down and really not use my mind at all, let it rest. And that's really challenging because the ways in which I normally rest are like by reading, sometimes letting a good show kind of take me away. And right now I'm not feeling any of the shows because I don't know what's going on, but there's nothing of interest. I've watched everything I'm interested in. And same thing with even just reading for pleasure. I have found it to be very, even still, it's mentally stimulating. And that even that has been really exhausting. So I'm like, okay, well, what do I need to do to really bring this sense of rest to my body, to my mind? And what I have discovered in the last week is that it's really been about not doing. That sounds kind of obvious, doesn't it? But it's not, because when we wake up in the morning, we're so habituated to moving forward into our day, to what do we have to accomplish in this, what do we have to accomplish today? Who do we need to talk to today? What activities require my attention? And it's actually quite challenging to notice that we're moving into that energy and then pause, like not get caught up in the momentum of it. That's actually really challenging to do. It's like putting on the brakes, right? I actually think of it like in the film, The Flintstones, if any of y'all, aging myself here, which is totally fine, but if you've ever watched the Flintstones and he uses his feet as the accelerator really to move the car and his feet to stop the car, and in kind of moving into a place where you're putting the brakes on the momentum is like using your bare feet to stop the car, right? It's really challenging, and it can feel really uncomfortable because we're not used to holding that kind of tension. There is a sense of tension in that, right? Where we're like, oh, well, I can feel my energy and my body wanting to work in this direction, but I know that that's not what I need to take care of myself right now. Right now, what I need is to just sit here at the table while I enjoy my tea. Look out the window at, the winter scene. Everything's very bare. What does that mean? Contemplate this season of wintering that we are in the northern hemisphere. Here in Dallas, all of our grass dies, it goes dormant, right? Everything turns kind of a beige, for lack of a better word. The trees lose all of their leaves and they all turn sort of grayish brown. So there's this sense of things going dormant, a sense of things going into a restful period. And as I'm sitting at the table, just trying to bring my awareness right back to the tea in front of me, back to contemplating the dormancy, that's the word, the dormancy of what's happening outside in the natural world. It kind of brings me into an internal space that allows me to slow down, which is really, really nice. But before we can get there, because it's so uncomfortable. So I've been trying to really not hold on to that in the mornings, but use it as sort of a reminder throughout my day when I start to feel overwhelmed and the signals are there, right? When my body is moving into a place where it's like, yeah, maybe right now what I need is not this productivity. Maybe right now is what I need for you to do is just to stop for a minute and check in with me, right? Sometimes our bodies are asking us to do that. And we know that because we start to feel tired. We start to feel anxious. We start to maybe get frustrated. And these are all ways that we're sort of forcing our bodies to move in ways that they don't want us to move. It's like, hold on, slow down, check in. What do I actually need? I don't need this momentum right now. I need you to just stand here and breathe. Go for a walk maybe. Or if you're in a situation where you can't do that, you're at work, I'm self-employed, so I have the luxury sometimes of, and sometimes I don't, but sometimes of being able to really observe, hey, you know what, I need to go take a nap. But sometimes you can't do that if you work in an office, if you work for somebody else. You're kind of, anchored by that schedule, but still you can take a pause. You can get up from your desk and hopefully there's some place outside you can go walk for a minute, take a breath, allow yourself to know that you can soften that space that you're in. And that is a form of healing, I think. We begin to listen to ourselves and actually do the thing that we need, instead of ignoring it, because we often hear it, right? We often hear that voice. We hear that need that our body is signaling to us. But a lot of times we ignore it, right? Or we pick up our phone and we just start scrolling because it's easier. So it's possible to approach that pause in the middle of the day as the healing that we can bring into our everyday life. It's so beautiful when we can do that. And I'm really feeling that right now. Like, that's really what I need. I need the pause. And yeah, there's a whole list of things that I want to get to. So many exciting things and so many things I really need to put some energy into. But if we begin to use the depleted energy, right? So say, we have this much energy when we're fully tapped, right? When we have all the energy, we have this much. But if we only have this much and we're trying to push ourselves to be productive and do those new things, take on the new ventures, move into these exciting new things we want to do, we aren't working from a place of abundance. And so it becomes really difficult to do those things that we want to do, to manifest, if you want to use that language. These beautiful and wonderful things we want to do, or even if they're just things we have to do, right? Get the to-do list checked. But if we're working from a place of depletion, how can we possibly put the energy, the beautiful energy, in to doing the things that require our energy when we're fully nurtured, when our bank account of energy is full? Those are things that feel like no big deal. So yeah, I think that's what we should work with, and starting with if we're bringing a healing energy into our year, and coming back to ourselves, committing to a place of building acceptance and love and self-compassion, it is a form of healing. And so I encourage you, just try it in the next time you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, you're a little bit anxious, or you're feeling like, I'm being really clumsy and I'm dropping everything I touch. It's a signal, like something's out of alignment. Just check in, like, okay, hold on, let me just pause for a minute. Let me just stand here and take a deep breath. Let my energy kind of come together, right? And see, what do I need? What can I just let go of for this day so that I can make space for how I can nurture myself so that I can bring that sense of attention that is really healing to my experience now. So that's kind of where I've gotten on my, endeavor of New Year return to you. And I would love to hear where you are now that we're almost 2 weeks into January, and how the intention's been working for you, and what you've been noticing, and if you've been able to make some changes, and how you feel like you've been responding to that. Shoot me a message, DM me, send me a little video. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.